It's very important for us to embrace change, for us not to be hesitant or resistant to the things that's happening in our life, right? And change can be good or bad, right? You never truly know why you're experiencing something. But to resist it is almost to prolong it in a way. So when you see yourself in a period of change, a spirit of growth, allow it to flow through you freely, right? Allow it to guide you, allow it to build you, allow it to, in other words, be your pillar, your inward pillar. If you don't have that inward pillar, if you don't have, you know, that sense of groundedness within self, getting distracted and getting deterred and, unaligning yourself becomes very easy. And that's not at all what you're trying to do. With that being said, I also want to speak on the principle of hard work, right? A lot of things in your life doesn't happen by luck. I was having this conversation with my cousin actually, about probably 2 weeks ago. And I was basically saying how luck needs to be influenced, right? The person who won the lottery got lucky, but that person went and also bought the tickets and put the right numbers, right? He had to invest somewhere. He had to meet God halfway, and God met him or her the other half, right? That's the principle of hard work I'm talking about. We equivalent hard work to hard labor, fatigue, and, bad mental health. When in reality, hard work could just be doing the things that you know you need to do, right? And especially if you're an artist, even an entrepreneur, the things that you have to do is fairly easy, right? If you have to make some content, make the content, make the TikTok. If you need to go write the lyrics, bro, go to the studio, lock yourself in, listen to the music, write. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's not, the process of doing isn't very hard. The hard work comes into maintaining your headspace, maintaining your discipline, maintaining, your alignment, so you can keep doing the things that you're meant to do, right? Some people, do go into, harder fields, right? Some people go into things like construction, um, other fields within that. And that may be part of their calling. You never know. Some people like building houses. You never know why you're meant to be building houses. That just may be part of your calling to, build homes for people. You're serving a greater collective. You really don't know. Now, if you step outside of what you were meant to do, you're going to see you start having so much unnecessary, conflict and just anxiety because you're doing something you weren't meant to do, right? So I don't want anybody to hear the word hard work and immediately equivalent it to pushing yourself to exhaustion. I want you guys to equivalent hard work to patience and discipline. Doing something for a long period of time, growing, evolving in that alignment, and having patience while it unfolds. The hard work aspect kind of happens on its own because, truthfully speaking, nobody ever acknowledges you're working hard, right? Even though you're not out here looking for acknowledgement of other people. But usually that working hard title or phrase doesn't come until they see some type of results, right? So by you naturally just focusing on doing what you need to do over a prolonged period of time, getting better, adapting, crafting, whatever the case may be, you'll naturally bring fruits along the path without you necessarily asking for the fruit, right? It just grows on its own and it just falls in your lap by itself as a byproduct of you having discipline and patience, aka hard work. And then when people see the fruit, they say, oh, you worked hard for that fruit. In reality, you were just patient, right? Majority of times, you just have to plant the seed and just water it. That's like growing a tree, growing a plant. for people who's in gardening and or just whatever the case may be, right? When you plant a seed, right? You plant, let's say, a seed for a tree or something like that, right? At first, it is very simple, right? You put it in the floor. That's planting the seed. Then every day you just need to water it. And that's if you need to do it every day. If Mother Earth doesn't water it for you, aka God, right? But if you do go and meet God halfway and you water it yourself as well, you may influence the speed of that tree growing, right? But all you have to do was just water it, let it grow, have a little bit of patience, and then a couple years, 20 years later, you are going to have a full-blown tree. You didn't have to work hard for that tree. You just had to plant the seed and be patient and then nurture it while it was growing. It's very simple. You know, you didn't have to do these hard, you didn't have to sit and watch the tree grow the whole time. You didn't have to continuously, poke and ask the tree, is it okay? Am I doing it right? Are you going to grow? Did I plant you right? And you didn't have to do any of that. It just had to let it unfold. That's the principle that we should be having concerning hard work. And you'll see you'll manifest easier, right? Because when you start removing things that requires you to, I'm not going to say grow, but step out of your alignment, right? Because everybody says step out of your comfort zone. In a way, yes, but no, right? When they say step out of your comfort zone, that's if you're scared of trying something or you're scared of doing something, right? You're closing your mind to other perspectives. But there's also another side of that. Your comfort zone is needed. Your comfort zone was actually maybe a little bit meant for you. You notice when you're doing something that's meant for you, you do it easier, you do it faster, you may be, a little bit more creative. It's just meant for you. That's a line. That's your comfort zone. So if you crafted and excelled and built and grew around your strengths, in other words, because the only reason why you're comfortable doing something is usually because it's one of your strengths. So if it's one of your strengths and you got better at your already existing strengths, your life would be an effect of you being better at the things that you're already good at. You would reap the rewards quicker, faster, easier, right? This whole idea is kind of like this hustle culture in a way, where we've gotten it misinterpreted, right? When people say put that hustle in, when people say, get that work in, it's usually equated to get out of your head. Just do the things you know you need to do. We've equated the hustle to 16, 24-hour days, like no sleep type shit, right? You can't do that over prolonged periods of time. You really can't, right? It's going to show. It's going to take an effect. You're going to miss something. And even the people who say that they do that, they usually don't do that. They rest, right? It's a balance. You have to understand the balance. There's doing the things you know you need to do, and then not doing the things that you know you don't need to do, right? Learning how to prioritize, learning which things would give me the most results at the highest level with the least amount of effort. Let me figure that out. Let me get better at that. Let me do that. And then let me stop doing the things that's requiring more of me and getting less results, less fruits, less anything. Start shifting your attention and then working hard, quote unquote, at the things that come easy to you. And then it no longer feels like hard work. And I believe every entrepreneur, creative, business owner, whatever the case may be, says this: when you're doing something you love, it never feels like work. That saying is kind of true, but it also, once you're in alignment with what you're doing, there's going to be things that get thrown into your path that look like it's in alignment, right? That could show up, like for me, for instance, I love taking pictures, right? I love photography. But if I accept a bad photo shoot, or I diminish my self-worth. I could be left feeling discouraged. I could be left feeling drained. And now my job, quote unquote, my love feels like a job, in other words, right? Because I did something that was out of alignment. You see, the core root of a lot of this in life, your craft, your purpose, just everything is your spiritual foundation, your ability to use discernment, figuring out when something's truly meant for you, when something's not meant for you, and removing it as quickly as possible or adding it as quickly as possible. Stop trying so hard. If you're going to try hard, at least make sure you're trying hard at the right things. Don't try hard at something that you truly don't believe in, because it's not going to work. If you don't believe in it, nobody's going to believe in it. If you don't believe in yourself, nobody's going to believe in you. Sorry to say it, but you have to take that level of accountability and take responsibility for your path, your trajectory, what you're doing, how you're doing it, and your mental health. Your mental health is very important. I love y'all.